Hickies Music Store. My name is Russ.
And I'm Duncan. And today we have these beautiful, I know we say that word a lot, but beautiful PRSs with maple fingerboards.
They're pretty sweet. They're part of like a limited edition batch that PRS are doing at the moment.
It's something which you don't see too much either, maple necks on a PRS.
It's almost sacrilegious, but I kind of dig it. But yeah, they're going to come in these outrageous finishes. And they all look great, and they're all really unusual colours as well.
Yeah.
And they are quite reminiscent of like the more expensive kind of American PRSs.
They are, yes, yeah. Especially with the, I mean, these have got veneers on top, but with the flame which comes on all of these finishes, they look exactly the same as kind of how you would on some of the American ones.
And as you say, like the novelty of having a maple fingerboard is not to be underestimated, and the whole thing is just a really interesting alternative package.
It is, yeah. I mean, especially kind of with the way rosewood is going on at the moment, companies are now trying to find the next thing which they can kind of pop on for it without kind of getting in too much trouble, and maple definitely seems to be the choice which a lot of companies are going for.
I mean, it makes sense, right? It's a more renewable wood.
It is, yeah.
And as you say, there's been a lot of different sort of wood formulas that other companies are trying to use to bypass this issue with this.
And without starting like a huge kind of argument with it, there's not really much tonal difference between a maple and a rosewood. I know that's gonna like start a huge kind of comment war.
Well, you never checked this through with me, but like, I mean, in all fairness, like your point is correct. Like, I think if you were to blind test people, they would really struggle to tell the difference sometimes.
I mean, I stand down saying it's a feel thing. And definitely a preference thing. Okay. Like, I'm a huge maple neck and fretboard fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of how rosewood feels, but I think really with it, if you kind of, like you said, blind test it, you're not going to notice too much of what it could be.
So now I'm the exact opposite. I'm a big rosewood fan. But playing these is really interesting because they kind of, the back of the neck feels very different to like a lot of maple necked guitars, and that's something to discuss as well, because we got like this weird satin kind of vibe on it. Yeah. Which feels really nice actually. It kind of glides around, and it's the opposite, as we've talked about sticky necks before. But this kind of bypasses that whole sticky issue that's like Gibson style necks have.
I don't even know what skill it was. So we spoke last time in our last video with the Super Strat about kind of taking the gloss off the neck. And I think it is a must now with guitars.
Well, I think it's a very common change.
It is, yeah.
It's the, you know, it's the thing that is the most realistic thing that you could do, is to make your guitar more playable, and a lot of people do it. And you know, like the famous example of Zakk Wylde on a Les Paul. I mean, like anyone can do it to any guitar. But the fact that it comes as standard means that PRS are taking a look at what people want and trying to put it into a package.
That's a very good thing to say with that. Right, so let's get some specs with these. With the line, we're going to play kind of two of them, but we have got some others behind us as well, which I'm going to take some kind of nice shots of and throw them in the video now as well. But really what you're going to get is you're going to have a mahogany body.
Nice. With
a maple veneer, flame maple veneer on the top, which these flames are just beautiful. In the light, in person, they look really, really nice. Then you're going to have a maple fretboard with a mahogany neck, and as Russ was saying as well, the neck on the back of it has been kind of, the lacquer has been taken off.
Yeah.
So, but the nice thing is you still have the lacquer on the headstock and on the body. So it does fade in real nicely with it. And
it looks cool because it matches the same colour as the back naturally would. So like yours, for example, is like an orangey kind of brown colour which suits your back of yours. Mine is like a black matte kind of finish.
They continue the kind of paint throughout the guitar as well as on the headstock.
Of course, these are custom 24s for 24 frets.
And these are the 2017 models with these.
And of course we have your synchronised tremolo unit, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, no, I really like the PRS tremolos.
Well, it's because they're very reminiscent of the Fender ones, right? And like, I've never had a problem with Fender style vibrato units. Like, I really like them.
Pickup wise as well, these are just standard stock PRS pickups which you would get in the normal kind of PRS SE standards.
Yep.
There's nothing really kind of too special with those, apart from they do just sound really nice.
And they're all zebra style like pickups as
They
well.
are, yes, yes. So that kind of is a cool kind of pattern thing which is with them as well.
Nice one.
Burst which I have is I've got a vintage kind of sunburst on mine. What's the burst on yours?
Mine's a sapphire. So it's quite an unusual colour.
It is, yeah. It stands out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like we were looking for which one to do for each of us, and I love the purple one as well. But this is quite an eye-popping finish that is quite rare, and I think they really pushed it to the edge because it kind of, with the flame on the top, like the veneer on the top, it really brings out like quite an interesting.
And a nice thing to say as well is kind of like around the top they have also kept the cap around the side.
Yeah, they have.
So you see the nice kind of bright maple around the side of the guitar
Look at
as
that.
well.
That's a really cool
Which
detail.
I think really benefits it on the Sapphire.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks cool. Like the whole package is very smart, and it looks like they've really thought about how to put it into one thing. Price-wise as well, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean you're looking at about $799 for these. It's a decent price for PRS, and it seems to be that's kind of the price range which they're going at the moment for the kind of their SE standards. But you're getting a lot of guitar for that price.
It's really interesting because looking at trends in the market at the moment, like finding that nice sweet spot of what people consider to be, yeah, I'll save up for that, but there's no way I can afford that.
Yeah.
And like looking at obviously the bigger PRS, like the more American ones or whatever, or even some like American standards for Fender, or of course your classic Gibson line, you know, at the moment some of them are unobtainable for people,
And
which is completely fair.
Yeah, and saying on that as well, I mean, we're kind of quite honest with how we review these, and it seems to be that PRS are slotting nicely in the market now. You know, Gibson have put their prices up with whatever they have now, same with Fender, and it seems to be PRS are now that kind of line where the companies used to be maybe say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's slotting in nicely now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go through some tones. To start off with, I am running through the Fender Supersonic.
Nice.
And going into the almighty, all-powerful Il Torino Overdrive on the floor.
Hey, it's got to be done, man. It's your kind of signature now.
Which it is my always-on pedal. And that's why I like to class that, the always-on pedal. You don't need to change the settings. You just get a good amp, a good guitar,
leave it on.
and leave it on.
Preferably not overnight, because your 9 volts are done for.
That is the point, yeah. And that is the thing, I use 9-volt batteries.
Oh!
It sounds better than a power supply.
Oh, that's a debate for another day.
And I've already said the whole rosewood maple thing, I'm going to get rinsed in the comments.
Dude, you open yourself up to all kinds of stuff.
But right, so I'm going to give you through some tones. I'm going to start off with just some kind of nice chords, and I'm just going to take you through the pickups. So we're going to start off on the treble pickup.
Nice.
Really nice warm sound.
Yeah.
I really do like it, and that's going through all of them as well. Not either one was kind of just standing out a little bit. It's a nice even set of pickups.
Absolutely, and they all sound uniquely different as well.
That's it. So now I'm going to just kind of take you through some other kind of tones which I really do like with this guitar. So this one I kind of quite like to use. It's like a middle position. You've got a sound like this. That's quite a nice one. And then you have got another sound, which this is the neck pickup, and it's got a nice kind of bluesy tone to it.
gotta have that BB bit at the
You
end.
gotta have the.
And the face as well.
It's all about the faces on the.
That's a great one.
It's all about those faces. But yeah. Great sounding guitar, great pickups, and hugely versatile is the main thing to really take from it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Want to take us through some tones?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've gone for a different thing deliberately. So to give a nice contrast amp-wise, we've got the Katana 50, which is kind of a running joke because we've used this amp since the start, right?
We have, yeah.
And it's kind of one of our most popular amps.
But it's great.
Absolutely, always something that I'd recommend to students and stuff like that. And so I've got that going on, and on the ground I've got a governor for my lead and distortion channels, because that, like your Torino, is my bae. So just go through some sort of chordy sounds.
Really nice warm sound with those bar chords.
Yeah, I mean, and that's through a solid state, right? So not necessarily known to be the warmest of things, but the Katana and this, I think, are an exception that go together quite nicely. So whacking on some gain. So I put my governor on. So awesome. So how about something like... bad. So now for something a bit more riffy. Fat and versatile.
Yeah.
So everything you want from a set of humbuckers with obviously the ability to coil tap options, ladies and gents.
So kind of round off this video a little bit, we were kind of just real happy with how PRS guitars are kind of turning out. I really feel like that they are listening to the consumer and us guitar players and really kind of making changes each year and actually dominating the market for this kind of price range guitar.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've done quite a few PRSs now.
Yeah.
And you know, we have our favourites, but they've all been of a quality level that you'd be happy with,
and around that same price as well. There's not too much of a gap between them.
Yeah, and it's like with other brands, there would be certain models that I might not necessarily ever go for, right? Like, or for whatever reason, might not be to my taste. But the vast majority of PRSs, if you had one, you'd be happy with it.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be happy with it 6 months later, or 6 years later, or 16 years later.
Yeah.
And there's always bits that obviously you can upgrade on a guitar, but for the most part, they're fat. You know, like I said, we've just been really happy with all of this. This like PRS crusade that we've gone on in the last, I'd say, year, right?
Yeah, it has. Yeah. We've kind of, you know, each guitar which comes in, we're always blown away by how it is and how it turns out. And we really kind of can't fault them too much.
Nice one. But thank you very much, guys, for tuning in.
That's alright. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care.